Rangers, welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve. We're currently hanging out in my super messy basement right now. It was clean. Then I decided to do some work. Gonna wait for some people to hop in, hopefully, and then we'll kind of get to it. It's just gonna be a kind of little chilling, talking kind of stream. Guys, questions, what have you? Oh, I'm super proud of what we did today. Hey, Humberto. Yeah, we're not working on any customs today. I was planning on it, but spent a lot of time working on installing some windows. So that was today's project. Hey, Shin Godzilla. So as you guys can see, back here, there's a new window in, and it's got a bunch of insulation around it. That's as far as we got today. I'm letting it cure overnight and then going to be caulking it all tomorrow. We did that one. We did this one here, which is next to the arts and crafts table. That's what we like to call it. I don't think you guys have ever been in my utility room for reasons. It's usually the worst area. But I can kind of show you guys without getting too much. But we replaced that window. Yeah, I was just saying we're giving up on Godzilla and giant monsters and dinosaurs and stuff, and we're just gonna do home improvement things from now on. We got that window in. If you guys want to see what the windows used to look like, that's all the old ones. As you can see, they were not in the best of shape, because when we got the house, it was Tim and it was Al. Oh, I would think I would probably be Al, right? Between the two of us. Arnes is definitely a little bit more front forward. Although I'm probably the more destructive one in all things considered. He was trying to be nice about things, and I'm just like, just break it out. I don't even care. We're past that point. But when I bought the house, all the windows got replaced, except the basement. At the time, they weren't great, but sorry. When I looked at the house, they didn't seem that bad. You could tell they were old windows, but it is what it is. And then after moving in, I realized that they were rotting quite a bit, and there was a lot of airflow coming in through it. So I just put like insulation wrap over top of them for a while. Took care of the problem. I was like, I'll replace this eventually. A few years later, we're getting to it finally, and realized some of the windows were definitely a lot worse than others. This one wasn't too bad. Honestly, all things considered, they were like the frame was mostly intact, but the actual window portion of it was going bad. The funnest one was the one here in the office. This guy here, got him installed. But what they did here is they like caked it in motor, and then it like hooked to the window. And then all the wood on the inside was just building up moisture. So it was just like the entire thing was rotting on this one. So when I took it out, and then like the motor, they didn't do a good job of packing it either. So it was like breaking in. And then during winter, if ice built up too high on the outside, it was getting into the cracks and then going down there and then going into my floor, which I've had to use a carpet cleaner to clean up a few times, which is good. So next will be Tuesday. I'm gonna knock this one out, and that'll be the last window. Like you can see right here, like the wood's definitely not great. And then there's supposed to be a window on the outside. Also, there's a giant spider right there. I don't know if it'll focus, but in Michigan, this is like the perfect time for all these little arachnids to be coming out. But there's that there. This is all just insulation that they painted over. It's like the cheap motors. So I gotta like knock all that out. And then I gotta put some 2x4s. Like this window's gotta be, I need one ingress. So I gotta put that in. Right, so like I said, we're going to be redoing this whole thing. That'll be Tuesday. But this one, not bad. arachnophobia situation. And I'm waiting for it. Because I have to like constantly take a shop vac up in the rafters here. You'll see my office isn't too bad. Well, but I'm in here a lot. You walk out here, general traffic area, not so bad. But then you get out here and you start noticing there's a lot more cobwebbies in this section here. I actually just shop vac this the other day and it's already, they're coming back with force. Little monsters. But what's going to be nice is I got to trim the insulation. We're going to caulk it. And then I'll go back over and smooth all that out with some cement. I'm probably going to have to put some like patch stuff over top of this so the cement will stay. And then I'll have like some extra shelves. It's probably going to be better for him because then he'll actually have somewhere to perch out here. And then in here, since this technically room's already done, I'm just going to add some wood to the whole frame around here. And then this will actually be an extra shelf, so I'll probably end up putting the Power Ranger helmets and such up there. Like you can see, I had to move all the bookshelves and all the stuff over there in the corner so I could get to that one and that one. Yeah, basements suck. So that's kind of just the tour of what I've been doing. That's also why there hasn't, like, I've had some videos filmed, I just haven't had time to edit them. So hopefully tomorrow, I'll try to set you guys up. It's pretty much like a dungeon down here. Because it's a, like, they call it a finished basement, it's finished enough. Like, it should be drywalled all the way through. But it's not. On a high note, I actually can... Oh, this ain't hooked up. I was gonna say I don't have all my. I took the one light out when we were streaming stuff the other day, so this one's just gonna have to make do. Oh, also not a sponsor, but I wanted a slushie. But anyways, so that's what's going on in terms of house stuff. Because like I said, this is a project I've been wanting to do for a couple of years, and we had some spare money from this tax return. So I already bought the windows like a couple months ago, and just finally got some time off work so I can spend a day to get it done. But overall, super happy with it. It's probably not the most like eco-friendly window I've ever done. Appreciate it, Justin. It's probably, like I said, it's probably not the most eco-friendly window because for the gap and what I wanted, this is about as good as I could get without like special ordering. Yeah, I was gonna message you about that. I saw that not too long ago, but I figured you probably already seen it. Hi, Bloody. Yeah, he's been neglected all day, so he's being super bossy right now. He's gonna be excited because he's gonna have places to sit. Yep. So he's been super curious now about all the spaces up here. Yeah, but what'll be nice is so when I'm done with these two windows, I can actually sit stuff there, which will be cool. Because it would have been nice to be able to get like windows that fill the whole thing up. Yeah, I was gonna say you'll never know the difference. Like I said, it's gonna be nice because I'll actually have some shelf space. Because the old windows were like handmade, so there was a lot of thickness to it. But when I bought the house, none of them opened. They're all nailed shut because they were starting to go. So the more you opened them, the more it was just destroying the wood. So all of them were closed, and then for city reasons, there's supposed to be one ingress window in the basement because this isn't a habitable living space. So I only need one because it's technically finished. But as you can see in this office, there's nowhere for somebody to sleep or the rest of the basement. Double glaze? Probably not. They're pretty basic windows. It's pretty much just a sliding window and it has the screen on the one side. I wanted something like this though because with 3D printing, and such, and just want like airbrushing. It's just nice to have something, an easy way to get more ventilation in the basement than what I had already. I could have done the like the glass bricks, but again, I wanted something with better ventilation, and then if in case something happens down here, I can fit out that window pretty easy. And also, it's not the thickest thing ever, so it's like with some force, you'll get that thing out. And then what was considered my ingress window was the one on the side of the house, and I literally have like a house like 20 feet. Like there's my house, 20 feet, another house. And I don't know why they thought it was okay for that one to be the window that opened, because it'd be hard to get firefighters in there and such. So I have an alley that way. So I'm going to make the ingress that one because it's a lot more space for somebody to climb into. Plus, yes, I would say single glass. I'm not super technical with the terms, but it's literally just glass, sliding, and then it has the screen on the other side. But yeah, not the full casement. Like I said, for the dimensions, I couldn't I couldn't find ones that worked without having to like special order them, and I was trying to, I'll be honest, trying to keep it as cheap as possible. So Grant, we make some money off YouTube, not a ton, so it's all based off my other job, which mainly goes to bills. But the nice thing is when I picked up this house was when the market was at the lowest at the time. So my current house payment's like a third of what rent is around here. So super happy about it. Still, like I said, they'll be functional. Oh, thanks, Tristan. Yeah, right now it's kind of messed up, but pretty much like when the room when it's set up normally, it is like wall to wall toys. Like this is just more shelves with more. This area is the Power Rangers, and like I said, the nice thing is I need to make some room for not a lot of models per se. I got like a couple of Gundams. This is the only one I probably like actively display for the model kits I've worked on. This is my Moderoid Keen. But speaking of, the reason that, like I said, it's nice that I'm going to be able to have a little bit more shelves. Brick tall, right? Because to be honest, I probably don't need as many windows as there is down here, to be fair. But like I said, with the working on stuff, it's nice to have more ventilation. So I'll be able to actually functionally use it, unlike previously. Shoo, that's nice. Mine's not that high. I picked mine up for slightly over 50, and currently I think it's the city values it at about, I think about 90 now. Because they keep sending me like, they'll send me like the tax things because they're like, your taxes went up. I'm like, cool. It's like, guys, your house value went up. I'm like, cool. Doesn't help me right now, but at some point it'll be nice. So in terms of like buying it, we're probably what 35-40% around there in terms of what I made off of the place. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm in Michigan. We'll get too specific on the city, but Michigan. And yeah, so to be able to buy a house like this now around here, you're looking probably in the, because what they value my house about 90. It'd probably be like 80-ish to buy, somewhere around there. Should actually find out. There's like a house like literally for sale, like 2 houses down. I should see what they want for that. How much they're asking for that thing. Because it's about the same size as this, but I don't know if it has a basement, a full basement like this house does. I know my neighbor does. My neighbor next to me. The one right behind me has like the nicest house on the block, but I don't know if theirs is a full basement. Light up probably not. I got a couple that light up, but they're like the pre Like it was already installed. So my prototype cabinet, it's pretty much like my prototype random stuff cabinet. Like those are all factory sample figures. The one on top, a couple of things fell over, but those are ones that people made for me. And then on the bottom, there's like my prototype King Kong stuff. That all hangs out there. That one lights up. For the most part, the way my stuff is, lighting wouldn't really help show it off any more than what the natural lighting in the room already does. Because honestly, there's probably too much stuff in this room. So lighting would just like I said, I don't think it really would benefit a lot of it. Outside of the ones that already have lights in them. Because of the glass, you'll be able to see through it all the way. Definitely the adult cabinet. Honestly, it's not that bad. It looks worse because they're all like skin tone. But they're all like a lot of them are like the prize figures. They're like but samples that I got for like next to nothing. Was super excited about it. Although a few of them are technically bathing suit figures. Like this one's a Sega one from Martian Successor Nadesco is this one. At some point, I really want to get the actual versions. Now's not the time because of import tariffs and such. I really wish I would have hopped on that much sooner. A couple of them are kind of pricey to get as a normal figure. It's mainly the Mightiest Disciple ones that I have. Those ones are a bit on the pricier side. Well, previously, like I said, right now it's open. But I actually have curtain blinds on them. You'll see they're kind of just hanging out there, and then that window has the blinds. And then to help keep the draft in, it had the plastic sheet over top the insulation, and then I had the blinds, and then over there I actually put actual fabric over top of the window for a bit. Mainly because a lot of the things that were there are actually box figures, so I don't want to damage them. So what's probably going to happen more than likely is I might do the same thing there, but I'm not 100%. Because like I said, I kind of want to use it as a shelf, and it defeats the purpose of using it as a shelf if I put stuff on there. Might be just stuff that I don't think, because I'm not going to get a lot of sun from this window, because there's literally a house like blocking everything right there. So it's not going to be a direct sunlight. That window's the problem, though. Yeah, I can believe it. It gets into color for sure. It's like that with normal figures, though. Like if you have white figures with white on them and they get direct sunlight, it'll generally tint them yellow. So like I said, it'd be nice to have shelf space, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to. Honestly, I might just stick the blinds inside the window. So I have them on the outside. When I caulk it in, I could just put them across the top and then still have that area for shelving. That's probably what's going to end up happening there. But tomorrow's going to be cutting the insulation and then caulking it all. And then Tuesday will be trying to put that stupid one in, because that was the one. I also probably got to put some 2x4s in, because the only ingress window I could find to fit it is 4 inches smaller in width. So I'll have to put like take two 2x4s to kind of fill in the gap. But I'll probably do that for both of them, because now that I have so much space in there, I can stick a blind and then do the wood around it. Might not look the prettiest. The other problem is the way they did the frame for this room. It's not lined up with the brick. That is my only qualm with that. Well, honestly, what I'll probably do is I'll probably just do the same thing I was gonna do. Is I'll just put, because I was gonna smooth it out with cement on the inside. They'll fill in the hole anyways, and then I'll probably do another piece of wood around to kind of level it out, and then everything just kind of sit on it. Oh yeah, loads of fun. Especially for my first time. I've never done windows before. Arnes has done a couple, so it was great to have his help. He was a little bit more knowledgeable on the leveling aspect of it. I've watched some videos, so more or less, I had it down. But it was just nice to have somebody that just like already knew what was going on. So just once he was here, we busted through these windows pretty quick. It took us longer to get them out than put them in. That's my house. I own this place. Yeah, well, the city has to be so wide, anyways. So, trying to remember the measurement off the head. I think it's 36 inches here, but the window only opens up half that. So 36. So you get 18 inches of window, which I could fit through. My wife would probably have a bit more of a problem. Not saying she's like fat or anything, but she's got wider hips than I do. So and I think the city has to be at least like 26. Breathe in, just suck it in. Oh, so so it has to be the minimum. And then if I remember right, I think it was a 36-inch gap, and the closest ingress window I could find was the right height, but width wise, I want to say it was 32. So I got to fill in 2 inches on each side. And because I'm not changing the opening, I'm grandfathered in, so I don't have to change a damn thing. Because if you build a house now around here, I think all the windows technically have to be ingress, which I could have done, but like I said, I didn't really want to do that because I want to be able to have ventilation, but still be able to like seal in everything. And then I have to get like the ingress windows, then we have to get screens for them, and then it's a lot more work setting up pretty much like doing 2 windows for each one. This is like, yeah, not about that life. So, and like I said, these are more functional than what they were. That's all it needs to be. It's a lot of talking about home stuff this stream instead of action figures. Nice change of pace though. Yeah, probably could. Funny enough, the only actual light in this place is that dude right there. What got installed in here. And it's done a good enough job that I haven't hated it. But for video purposes, it just sucks. It sucks for lighting everything, so I have extra lights to be able to do this. I just only have the one hooked up right now because the other light's currently hanging out on the craft table, which we might do another stream tomorrow. It's between that or if I'm really going to try to get the Mr. Angerus's review done tomorrow. Because I filmed his skit and got his pictures all done. So he's the one I'm currently planning on working on. But yeah, no, you're not wrong, though. I would like to update the lights in here at some point. Be nice to have something a little bit more. For sure. Probably also don't have a lot of headspace, though. But like you mentioned, where the gaps are, I could literally just stick a light in there. Some strips of light in there, and then it would brighten up the room a bit more. Because technically I have a light over there, but it doesn't work. So I don't know what the whole power situation was with that. Yeah, Angerus. This guy's sweet. Still super excited for that Legion to come in. I hate that. I just noticed that Entertainment Earth hiked the price on them a little bit because of tariffs, and I'm just like, it was already so expensive to begin with, and now it's like an extra $60. Hurts my feelings. Really regret not going off somebody that I could have paid in advance now. Who would win, Indominus Rex or D-Rex? I would assume D-Rex. It's got the size advantage. For sure, which I think is a big thing for a lot of dinosaur fights. It's also got those like giant grabby hands. I don't think it'd be much. Oh, honestly, I don't think it'd really even be that close. Outside of Indominus, I would assume probably be able to get the first strike off with the camouflage. But that like first strike, it like really has to get the job done there. Otherwise, yeah, I think the D-Rex just takes over and just beats the tar out of it. Dominus was an angry cat. Yeah, pretty much. It's a really pissy cat. But this was sweet. I actually just we got the same day I wrapped that one up. I did the unimportant review for this gal. But I downloaded some new editing software, so there's going to be a bit of a learning curve with that one. Because the software I was using, I don't know, for what I was using it for, it wasn't really worth the price. Oh, Mechagodzilla. All day, every day. Problem is like, then you're still going off of the Deer's ways. Yeah, I wish, like I said, I think the D-Rex should have been more of like a looming threat throughout the entire movie instead of just being like I said, it felt more like a video game setup, where they just had like stages. It's like, here's the Spinosaurus stage, here's the giant flying, here's the Raptor stages, here's the D-Rex stage. Still like the movie overall, but it had like a very video gamey plot to it. Oh yeah, for sure. I actually just clear coated them tonight. I got a couple sprays on them. So tomorrow I'll probably do gloss on the teeth. I'll do some varnish on the teeth. Teeth, eyes, finish sealing the epoxy on the neck so that won't rub off. And then they'll be good to go. Still trying to figure out how much to charge. Leaning towards 150 sounds about right. But yeah, definitely Final Boss. Yeah, she pretty much made a cameo at the end. Pretty much, like, he was cool. Yeah, like I said, but like they teased him at the beginning, and it was just like, it was just there. It would have been cool if, like I said, it would just had more of a presence throughout the movie. Like maybe at least had something to do with the boat scene. And then, like I said, just kind of had like, there's the threat of it, but it doesn't really need to be there. Threesomes is such a good guy. I would like to, but I also need help paying for Legion, so one of these days. But she's actually pretty sweet. I've actually been really impressed with this thing. I just kind of wish the sword wasn't permanently attached to the hand. I think it's my only real negative. Not just the price. It's also a more expensive figure. But I did like that. It seems like some of the Tamashi stuff, it's a huge sword. The only reason I would like it to not be attached is if they make more of them, it would be nice to be able to like part swap between some of them, so like you can make your own tarnish. Yeah, it's permanent hand, so that sucks. But like I said, if you take it off, you could like kit bash with it better. The way it sits, can't really do that. But like I said, the video game though, you don't see her ever not holding the thing, so I get it, but would have been cool. It's probably because like the way the sword's designed, it would probably be really hard for her to hold it and not have the sword just be constantly falling off. I did see the trailer and it kind of looks sweet. I'm excited for that. I loved the old Anaconda movie. So, and then I heard about this, and I just kind of was like, rolled my eyes a little bit at it. And then after watching the trailer, I am so on board with it. I actively want to go see it in theaters. So, I'm looking super forward to that. I'm almost excited for that as much as I am the new Predator movie. It's pretty close. I think Predator still beats it a little bit. But I love a good Jack Black movie too, so hopefully it'll be cool. Oh yeah, for sure. Especially it's nice with the Dragon Ball Z ones because a lot of them you can even like swear, like share hands with them and such too, depending on the character. So that's always really good with those. Currently, Dragon Ball, I only really have Cooler and Piccolo, and I've been hopping back and forth if I'm going to end up selling them or not. Because they're my two favorite characters, which is why they're the only figure arts I've really survived from Dragon Ball that I still own. But because I keep leaning back and forth if I want to get off them or not, I probably should. But it's hard. It would be a great Christmas. Maybe that's what we'll try to do. Maybe watch it for Christmas. I have to see what actually lands though, because the way things have been currently, it's like if you don't go see it that week, you're just better off waiting until it goes because it's gonna be on stream in like 2 weeks later. So probably have to try to see it like right then and there. But I don't. But I do think the next movie I see, I think it's Predator. I think it's the next one we'll probably go see. Callaghan, the Cinco. Also, Spear Special Beam Cannon. No, I don't think there's. Is there any like human hands that have the two fingers forward? Some two in the pink hands, so you can. Beast Gohan be cool. I think the only thing I like with the Piccolos is one of the reasons I want to sell them because if I keep them, then I want to get Orange Piccolo. He's the one I'm missing. Does Vegeta have that? Yeah, it sucks. That movie I'm pretty excited for too because I actually like the new Mortal Kombat. Wasn't great, but wasn't bad either. Yeah, I was like, I love the Orange Piccolo. Orange Piccolo is sweet. Which is like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Piccolo form. He just one punches that dude. Okay, well, that would work then. Because like I said, out of the ones that I remember when I had a bunch of them, I don't remember having one between the rest of them. Kind of hoping they wish that we get more confirmation and we're getting more Yu Hakusho figures. Would be nice. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I didn't really hate the premise. The new guy was just kind of bland. I think was my only real issue. I don't mind them introducing a new character, but he just wasn't that exciting. Even like when he gets his ability, it's just like fine. They did Gorgo dirty on that one. Goro, sorry, not Gorgo, not the giant, not the Belgian monster. Yeah, thanks, Tristan. But yeah, Kano was sweet. I didn't like Shane's son. I think he was one of the problems I had. The 21st night of September. God, that rings a bell. It's something historical, isn't it? Something to do with because it's a rhyme. History wasn't my strong suit in school. Still isn't. Unless it's tied to some kind of franchise that I'm into. Oh. Is it something? But it's tied to something though, isn't it? Or is my brain just making up random nonsense? Because that could also be true. Wouldn't surprise me. We're starting to get up there in age, so things just like come in and out as they go. Yeah, I think other than that, okay. As long as hopefully is like there's some hope that I'm correct, we'll go with it. But yeah. Anyways, real quick, try not to cancel the stream quite yet. I do gotta get my daughter ready to go to her mother-in-law's. But I think other than that, like I said, it just kind of hurts my feelings that like that entire session's blocked off. I haven't really got to hang out here down here too much lately though. Because one thing I do kind of want to get back into doing is getting some more gaming stuff on the channel. Just another avenue to just get some random free streams in. They don't usually do that well in terms of content, but I've been playing a lot of Helldivers, and I feel like as a game, it's kind of similar to some of the stuff that we talk about on the channel, especially with all the sci-fi alien stuff too. It's very like Starship Troopers Terminator-esque in a way. So I've been enjoying that game a lot. So I wouldn't mind maybe doing some streams, maybe need to get Spitter a Helldiver helmet. I think might be cool. Maybe something I try to work on. Well, yeah. Also, hopefully with these shelves now, I'll have someplace to put the critter. Because currently he's just been hiding behind the TV. And if anything, he probably needs to go upstairs in the office. Or not up in the office, the bedroom. Because the bedroom is where all the horror stuff is. Oh, his toupee's coming off. A little better. This isn't my puppet using hand. It's supposed to be on the right hand. Doesn't work so well. Let's flip that around. Got to use my strong hand. Also, I didn't get my hand nearly as high up in here as I need to really get this thing to be functioning. He is being neglected. I was kind of thinking, I was like, he could go up there. He could hang out in the window. He could terrorize the neighbors. Just be always peeking at him. Sort of like in the original movie. God, I really need to make some of these like a 3D print so I could put light up eyes inside of them. So then I could just torment the neighbors and I could just look out the windows. Be always watching. Always watching. Then. Bah. Now he's transitioned to full Steve. Yes. Oh, I would like to put LED eyes in him, but it was already such a pain in the butt to get this thing to look as good as it does. I don't think his eyes would be that hard for me to get out, to be fair, because it is just latex holding the eye. Latex and hot glue that held the eyeballs in. The only thing is getting them to light up. I don't know the best way to go about it. Because I would have to put lights inside of them. Well, I guess I just have a battery pack hanging out somewhere on his back in there, and then just have a switch. I guess it'd probably work. Rawr. Then I wish I did his eyes like ping pong balls. Would have probably been good for that. Because then I could just stick light in the ping pong balls, and the ping pong balls would light them up. Maybe if I do another one, we'll try to do that. Probably if I do another one, he's probably going to end up getting sold. It's a yes and no. So his eyes only work if you like beat him against something. Like bam, his eyes light up for a second. I'm debating. I got asked. I'm not sure if I'm doing it yet. I haven't gotten confirmation. But where we go do our Halloween camping, I usually dress up and hand out candy and such. I haven't made anything new this year for it. So it's probably going to just be an old outfit. But I got asked if I could bring one of my costumes because they want to do the Halloween trails. Because where the campground's at, there's like a huge trail system. But it sounds like they don't got enough costumes and people to do it. And then I guess somebody remembered me. And Steve's got some Jason outfits, and we got like the Ghostface outfit. We got that. The problem is like the Scarecrow outfit I have just reuses most of the Freddy vs. Jason outfit. But there's that. I was like, we should just like have. I should just have somebody with him hiding in the woods behind a tree with the crate. Then he'd be so good for if his eyes light up, though. Problem is, I don't want to try to reinsert his eyes. I don't, like I said, I don't think it'd be that hard to do on him. It'd just be redoing a little bit of latex on him and rigging up a light. But where his eyes went, there's an actual hole there, so it wouldn't be so hard to walk. Run a wire through it. Beat the monster. That's a different channel. That's you. We could call that the OnlyFans beating monsters. Be great. But anyways, I think we're gonna call it good for today. Like I said, just a nice little chit chat. I might work on stuff tomorrow because I would like to get the Ultraman Kaiju dude finished painted. And then I got to move on to starting doing some bunch of 3D scanning and getting some more stuff printed. Currently, I'm printing some stuff for Etsy, and then I gotta print the FNAF ones. I think is the next thing on the agenda, and then 3D scanning stuff. Oh, nice! You got the Final Wars one. Figure. I wish the teeth were a little better. I think it's my biggest gripe with that thing is the teeth are too big. But anyways, you can help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button. Subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys, look people today what you want to donate. Greatly would appreciate it. We have an Etsy shop if you guys like to get some custom beams. There's some custom effect pieces. It's also a good way to get a hold of me for commissions if you guys want to get some custom figures done for yourself. We'll show you guys some stuff, but currently it's all getting clear coated right now. So it's drying out in the garage. If you guys like to pick up some collectibles for yourself, like Mr. Angerus here, link in the description for Entertainment Earth. You also get free shipping on, I forget what the order cap is, but you'll get free shipping on things like Angerus. Or like Legion. Thank God. Or if you pick up some Haya figures like the new Beast Glove Con is currently available on Calcus. Something else just arrived that I'm forgetting. Oh, the Beam 91. He's on Calcus too. And the Beam went up for pre-order. Yeah. Or if you're looking for home improvement stuff, make sure to get a hold of me for that too. Need some more ways to make money. Oh yeah, Rodan's on Calcus too. Same with the Scylla. That thing should be coming out soon, I think. Scar King. I don't know if he's up yet, but it probably will be. And that thing I am so excited for. That thing needs to come out now and not like sometime next year. Yeah, Rodan! Anyways, see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.